Wangapi wako tayari kukaribisha waziri kwa vishindo? Waziri, unaona venye unapendwa? Wangapi? Nataka waziri aone. Asante sana.
Ile maelezo umeeleza hapa, it could not have been said by anybody else better than the way you have put it.
In Mbadi, he is able to communicate, and he has done it very well since he joined us at the ministry. Can we appreciate it?
The resistance in EGB is for the few who have made sure that there are only chosen few who do business with government.
You understand, Abu?
Kenyans taxpayers' money must be used prudently in accountable and transparent manner. We are not going to subject our people to high taxes.
It is the bad leadership that we had before. People who never cared about our people. But today, and Mbadi have been following you, you are the best. It is God sent.
Nataka tu tuongee rais yetu tukimaliza hii 10. Kwa nini mmekuja maneno ya rupees? Pia nini tutawapea serikali? Tutarudisha mkono.
Now, if you look at those people, by the way, na si kwa madharau, who is competent enough to replace Rutto, even if you were to replace?
Kumbe ni profesa, macho yako nakuwa kama ya chui. Kumbe ni...
If there are bills, audit all pending bills. Let's make sure we are paying for what government and the people of the town is consumed. Otherwise, tunakushukuru, wewe ndio dawa.
And I just want to also say, we had a very difficult moment when we started. But I want to say we have stabilized the economy, and the future is looking great. Thank you very much.
I want to ask all of us to stand for a minute of silence in honor of Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. May his soul continue resting in peace. Thank you so much.
Ningekuwa na maneno mengi sababu naonanga hiyo sura yako kwa television. Lakini kupitia MB yetu tulituma Nairobi atengeneza sheria na kutafutia sisi wakini. Kumbe ni profesa, macho yako nakuwa kama ya chui. Kumbe ni kumbe sababu wewe nasoma zaidi. Basi yangu ni pointi 3 tu peke yake. Kwanza, area ya mjumbe huyu Rutto ni ward 4. Na hiyo ward 4 tunaomba wewe ukipata kitu kwa somewhere, kumbuka hiyo ward 4. Kama kiwango, kama keki ile wewe natoa keki, atakuja angalia keki wenyewe na project ile tabanya. You understand, Abo? Point ya pili, sisi makansalas katika Jamhuri ya Kenya imekuwa kitu kama very wonderful. Pesa yetu tulipitishwa kwa bunge, makansalas wale wa zamani apate shilingi wa 1,500,000. Alafu kila mwezi 30 na nyesha mpaka wakati wewe napiga kikapu. Sasa hiyo maneno imenyamaza kimya, na rais yetu ya Jamhuri ya Kenya ni andamu yetu. Kujaribu kwenda bures tumbo na katika, hiyo inakuwa very serious. Sasa tunataka tuma wewe kama iko pali pesa imepichika, tabutia sisi appointment kwa rais. Ama sababu wewe iko kiondo ya pesa, ngalia hata 1,300 tungochange kicheri. Asante sana.
Mambo ya ngano, it used to have ile imported wheat ilikuwa ina attract 30% duty. Sasa ile inatoka nje inakuwa rahisi na inadhuru wale wakulima wa nyumbani. Mpaka saa hii the local wheat ambayo wana produce is about 8% of the total consumption. Hiyo inadidimia, na msipochunga you are actually killing that industry completely. before you do any importation ya wheat, they need to mop up the local wheat, wamalize kwanza, kwa sababu ni chache.
Serikali ambayo inaitwa broad base tuko ndani. Kwa tola kwani tono ninyu ngako mutwe mie wale mie.
I want to ask our guest of honor on retirement. Huyu mungwana anasumbuliwa sana na teachers ambao retire. Wakati papers zimetoka TSC zikienda Treasury zinachelewa. I've gone through your life history kiasi. And I realized you started somewhere as a CPA. There is a young man in the house called Sam. Where is the short guy here? I want you to mentor him that in the near future he will be our CS Finance. Where is Sam? Karibu hapa mbele. On behalf of this team, ukishika huyu mungwana, alafu mwisho nataka kukuombea Mwenyezi Mungu kwa niaba ya walimu. Yeye ni CPA kama wewe, shika yeye mkono. Mwisho kwa niaba ya walimu. Sisi walimu tunasema we support the government of the day. This team here, we support the president.
Barabara ile tunaomba ni kutoka Jerus na ikuje shikana hiyo ya Tulwet Pan Forest. Hiyo lami iwekwe kwa sababu tunahitaji. Ya tatu, tuko na shida. Katika kwetu kuna watu walihamishwa kwa upande wa Ketrago. Walitoa watu wetu saa hii karibu 10 years hawajapatiwa pesa zao na wametoka kwa mashamba. Ketrago hawajapatiwa chochote.
Kesses is only privilege to have been tarmac 18 kilometers. Sisi independent. Kwa hivyo tunaomba pesa ya kutama open Kesses kutoka Tulwet, Chuyat, Chebarus, Cherus, then Ban Forest and Pendura. If that is open, hizi mambo hapo hivi ya kuomba kazi wa mama, in fact most of our women wana supply sojo upper town city kutoka Kesses. But now ikinyesha hawakuji. That is for sure. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kwamba waziri wa Katoliki ambao wako hapa walisema sema neno moja tu na roho yangu itapona. Mimi si Mkatoliki. Kwa mambo ya barabara nafikiri nilisikia fununu. If we get 8 billion, that we are done. Kwa mambo ya maji, Kerita, Kesses Dam, and then kuna ile Atimbaroa. That can take us like 6 billion. Kesses ikichukua 3 billion, Kerita 2 billion, and the other one 2 billion. Almost 7 billion, and we are done. And this is a dangerous generation ambao mumepandika jina mkasema they are Gen Zs. We are requesting, if we can actually have youth innovation, entrepreneurship and training center at a cost of 1.3 billion, in one and then four, giving 5.2 billion. Waziri, awatasema 2 term, it can be actually indefinite. Utaenda baka uchoke. Because these are the majority people. And only, we are saying that given this money that we are borrowing almost 30 billion, we will actually have upscale employment opportunity, infrastructure development, that we can say here we are saying we are actually the worst of all the constituencies we have in Uasin County. 18 kilometers tarmac is independent is not that actually was by default. It is the bad leadership that we had before. People who never cared about our people. But today, and Mbadi have been following you in Citizen, in other areas. You are the best. It is God sent.
Please, I believe to more university. And remember, ile mambo yote inasema huko nje, we are not tribalist. We are very good people. If you come to Moi University, sio Wakalenjin peke yao wanafanya Moi University, ama ni Wakalenjin peke yao. No. It is a tribes coming from all over Kenya. So please, empower Moi University, give us the capacity that we can accommodate and finance. May you be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
With the SACCOs, we have the issues of taxes. We request that you look into the taxes that the SACCOs normally pay, because it's affecting our dividends and the income. Third is on the issues of loan defaulters. Because of the harsh economic activities, members default on loan repayment. So we would request that you look into support programs so that these members are not affected. And lastly, on behalf of the Matatu Sacco, we have the 8-seater Matatus, which are many within our county, and Mheshimiwa is aware, we have the challenge with the TLBs. So it's affecting most of our members economically. Kindly, Mheshimiwa, assist us on that. Thank you.
Wakati nilipewa hii appointment, there is a commitment that I made that this ministry of mine will cease to be ministry that is confined on the 14th floor of National Treasury building. That we must find time to engage with the people we work for. Kwa sisi kazi yetu ni kuwafanyia kazi. We are your servants, we are your employees, you are the ones who pay us. So nilisema lazima nikuje nikutane na nyinyi, nisikize vile mnataka hii nchi iendeshwe, na pia local issues, especially on development. And my PS is here, he knows that that is the new thinking at the National Treasury. In fact, we were supposed to come here a while back, a few weeks ago, for public participation. And I want to promise you that early in the year, month of January, I am still coming back to Eldoret. Now officially for public participation on our budget process. And there we will have opportunity to discuss all the development issues, the issues that you have, even with taxation. Because nimesikiza kwa makini sana, especially from chambers, that there are issues of taxation that we need to look into. And that is what we call public participation in taxation matters. Finance bill, for us to generate finance bill for 2026, we have to listen to wananchi. Sawa sawa? So that we don't bring things that would take again Gen Zs to the street. Sawa sawa? So here I want to listen, and I've listened carefully. I want to give you one more guarantee that Mheshimiwa, utakuja kwa ofisi, tutakaa na wewe na PS wangu, who also comes from not very far from here, tuangalie ile mashida mmereza hapa. Kuna vitu mingi mmeleta hapa. I know there are some that we have attended to in the budget, but there could be others. You know that we have constrained fiscal space, but tutaangalia all the issues that have been raised regarding development of Kesses constituency, na tuone one or two that we can pick and progress with going forward. The second step is to talk about our economic situation and the performance of the government of William Samoei Rutto. Najua saa zingine kama unasoma tu gazeti, saa zingine unasikiza tu radio, TV, opinions ya watu. A lot of them biased opinion. You end up not appreciating what this government has done. And I want you to listen to me carefully. Probably you are not aware how bad the economy of Kenya was when President Rutto took over as the president. This economy, and Chris here will tell you, and even up to the time I went to the Treasury, even paying salary was a problem. paying salary for workers, people who are in the civil service. We were paying salary up to 15th of the following month. Sometimes hata inapita 15th. Those are facts that probably you don't have. I am happy today, through our effort, the effort of the government, the effort of National Treasury, led by the CS here, and the PS, Chris, we pay salaries up to 5th of the following month. By the time this government was coming into office, even paying loans, Kenya was not sure whether we would pay loans. The government of Kenya was not sure. And this is not something that I'm the one who is saying. IMF categorized Kenya alongside 5 other countries in Africa as candidates for default, that we were not going to be able to pay our debts. 5 of those countries have actually defaulted. It is only Kenya which did not default, as was predicted. And that did not just happen. There is no miracle. There is no angel who is only confined to Kenya. God is for all of us, including countries like Ethiopia, which defaulted, Ghana, Chad, which defaulted. It means someone engaged his mind into ensuring that we didn't default. If we defaulted, today I'm telling you, we probably would not be having a country. We would not be having an economy. Even if we had a country, it would not be a country you would be happy to do business in, or even live in. Why do you think the shilling was at 160 to the dollar early last year? It's because a signal was sent to the economy that Kenya was not going to be able to pay Eurobond, which was maturing in June, of $2 billion. Na hiyo, serikali ya nani worked hard to make sure that that did not happen? Hiyo serikali ni ya William Rutto. And as now we have gone even a step further. We are more proactive. We have agreed that we are not going to be asleep. We will not sleep like other leaders slept in office. We have managed liability which is coming in 2027 because we don't want to subject Kenya and expose our economy again to the same problem that we faced last year. And that we did in February, March. We didn't sleep for about 3 days with this gentleman seated here, doing roadshow to make sure that we liability manage. Again in September this year, we decided to again be proactive and deal with 2028. So Kenya today, our economy is de-risked. Hiyo inafanyika kwa hii serikali. Kila siku watu wengine wanaamka, wanasema hakuna kitu inafanyika, hakuna kitu inaendelea. Yet that has happened. And I want to take you forward a bit. No, take you backward a bit. When this government came into office, and I was not there, by the way, for full disclosure, you all know how I was praying in 2022. My prayer could not end up with Rutto in State House. Never. My prayer was always that Rutto should fail and Raila wins. That was my prayer. I was not with you in this prayer ya Rutto kukua rais. Hiyo haikuwa maombi yangu. Ya Mungu ni maajabu. Hata last year, kama ungeniambia early last year ati ninaweza fanya kazi kwa serikali ya Rutto, ningekuambia wewe kichwa imeruka. But what I'm saying is when this government came into office, the first week, there was no fuel, all petrol stations were dry, and there was no foreign exchange. If you went to the banks, you were told dollars are being rationed. And you cannot import fuel in this country using Kenya shilling. You know, kuna watu wengine hata wajui economy na run namna gani. Uwezi tumia Kenya shillings kuimport fuel kukuja Kenya. Lazima utumie dola. Na hiyo dola iko kwa in Kenya. It was terrible. If President did not think quickly, and I congratulate President with his team then, for thinking fast and coming up with a system of government to government, which helped Kenyans in terms of reducing the dollar demand. These are things that people don't say because they don't want to say. Now you are told your son is not working. If you want to know that things are getting better in Kenya, when we were credit rated, we got a boost in the credit rating. That Kenya's outlook is now positive. The latest was by S&P, which said, yes, they upgraded us to grade B from B-. Moody's said now our economy has a positive outlook. The other thing that has just happened is that a few days ago, there is an institution in Switzerland, very reputable. It is called International Institute for Management Development. Si Mbadi, si Koech, si Rutto, si Njuguna, ni wazungu. Wamesema Kenya is now number 1 in terms of being the best investment destination. Kama unataka kuweka rasilimali yako kutoka nje, Kenya is the best, is the most preferred in Africa. Why? 4 things. Number 1, performing economy. Number 2, government efficiency. This government has almost digitized all services that is being rendered to wananchi. And that has been picked up out there. And they are saying Kenya is very good in terms of efficiency, business efficiency, and lastly, infrastructure. And that takes me now to say this, that we are still in a position where our fiscal space is narrow. Mheshimiwa Rutto here is asking for projects. Another one is asking for projects. And another one. And yet we have capitation. We must educate our children. We must put money in health. We must make sure that households have water. Yet, we don't have that space. So to free money to those social services and to give money in terms of cash transfer to our elderly, and to put money in subsidizing agriculture, as one of us said here, and to mop up milk, or give money to KCC to mop up milk, we must free money from infrastructure. Money that we put on some roads that are commercially viable. We must take our budget, those roads out of our budget. That is why we have decided that we are creating a fund called National Infrastructure Fund. That is what has developed countries like China. That is how Singapore has developed. That is how Malaysia has developed, South Korea and the rest. They have a fund which they use to bring in money from the private sector. I'm making it simple. So that we invest in infrastructure. This is something that you people need to support. Sawa. Let me wind up. We can only be able to make progress. Tunaweza songa mbele if we reduce ethnicity and we make this country more cohesive than it is today. Because what is killing Kenya is ethnicity. The judgment you make on a leader is not by virtue or by basing it on the parameter of performance. It is on his first name or his second name or where he comes from. This is something we must kill. We must appreciate that leadership is a calling and it can come from anywhere. Anybody, from anywhere. Whether you are from the smallest community or the largest community, you can still lead this country if you have the foresight, the focus, and the policies that are right. There are people who believe that this country can only be governed and ruled by themselves and not anybody else. That is a wrong assumption, and we must discourage that. And the only way to discourage that is to identify and isolate people who are tribal in their thinking, people who are retrogressive, people who are taking us back to decades ago, and we block them from accessing State House by using our votes. Not putting padlocks. Si kuweka padlock kwa gate ya State House, hapana. Ukiweka padlock, wewe mwenyewe ama uweke mtego, wewe mwenyewe ndiye utashikwa na hiyo mtego. Si umeona hiyo mfano imefanyika? Wale waliweka mtego, what happened to them? Walishikwa. So what you do, you use your vote wisely. Now, let me ask you, all of us here come from the western side of Kenya. And for years, since independence, now it's 63 years, no one had seen it fit to make the road from Nairobi to western Kenya, linking us to our largest trading partner, Uganda. That you have to take 2 days between Naivasha and Nakuru, and yet you pay taxes, and you think the economy will grow, yet your biggest trading partner, Uganda, you can't access. And it is not just Uganda. That road links you to the entire Central Africa region, the Great Lakes region. You access Rwanda, you access Burundi, you access DRC. Huge market. And no one could put money there. And yet, there are others with roads up to their bedrooms. You know, there is nothing tribal here. We are just being ruthlessly honest. And you know, when they want to do roads to their places, they give them very fancy names. I dare say very sexy name. Or very emotional. Very emotional. They are just village roads like the ones, probably yours are even more urban. Roads to the villages, then they call them Mau Mau roads. And you know, sometimes I ask, kwani Mau Mau walikuwa napitia barabara gani? Si walikuwa natembea tu kwa msituni. I am not saying it is wrong to do those roads, but which one is the priority road? The road linking us to Malava, opening up Uganda, opening up DRC, opening up Rwanda. You leave it in that state. And yet you do roads to your village and you call them whatever roads. It is now President Rutto who has decided to do that road. Yes, PPP may be expensive. That is why we are coming up with this National Infrastructure Fund. There are a lot of challenges with PPP, including bureaucracy. We want to simplify this process of bringing in private sector investment. You cannot attract someone's investment when you are too bureaucratic. Who will wait for you? Sijui for Treasury to approve. That approval takes 2 months. It goes to Ministry of Roads, sijui queries, goes to the implementing agency, comes back, then Chris Kiptoo here, chair of the committee, makes comment, it goes. Who will wait for you with this money? Everybody, Attorney General has noticed, sijui approve. We need an efficient system of engaging with private sector, and that can only happen if we have a body, an institution, which has the sole mandate of processing such transactions. For Kenya to move forward, you need a very bold leader. You need a very bold leader, and you need William Rutto. You need William Rutto. Let me tell you, watu wanaweza cheza na waseme sijui nani. Now, if you look at those people, by the way, na si kwa madharau, who is competent enough to replace Rutto, even if you were to replace? Hata afadhali mungengoja nikuwe ready kusimama kiti ya urais. I would be a better replacement. Not those ones. Honestly, hapo nimetereza. Yeah, you need a bold leader, someone who can make decisions. You have praised here EGP. EGP cannot be implemented by a coward. You cannot, because unazima, you are closing taps for people who are eating. How will they allow you? They will kick you properly, and they have been kicking me, and I'm also kicking them, and we are moving on. So you need boldness. Now, when I kick them, I am very confident because I know there is a leader behind me here who is also giving me backup, and that is William Rutto. You need boldness to push forward Treasury single account. I'm telling you, if Chris would tell you, there are so many invoices which come back for payment for a second time, third time. We are now catching them with the new system. For years, we have been losing money to people. We pay one invoice even 3 times. And when you want to bring those changes, you are told, no. It is inconveniencing. Sijui nini. A lot of maneno mingi tumesema, hakuna kitu kama hiyo, tutaendelea mbele. Kenyans taxpayers' money must be used prudently in accountable and transparent manner. We are not going to subject our people to high taxes. Mpaka ukiangalia payslip, hapo juu, mshahara ni vizuri, una smile. Gross, una smile. Ikifika chini, unaanza kulia. Alafu hiyo pesa imechukuliwa na Mbadi, who is now the chief Zagayo. I'm the deputy Zagayo. Then, ikiwekwa hapa, itumike vizuri, mtu mwingine anaanza kuiba hiyo pesa. Wewe utafurahi. So lazima tuzime hizo taps zote. Tunafunga all the taps. And you need a bold leader. Masaa inasonga. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why President Rutto is a target has nothing to do with performance. Hata hii SHA, wanasema ati SHA haiwezi fanya. SHA haiwezi fanya namna gani? And there are people who could not pay for cancer treatment. Now there are many people who are getting reprieve in hospitals. Any new system must face challenges, and we correct them as we go forward. So many presidents have wanted to implement universal health cover, but they lacked courage. They abandoned halfway. Rutto has said we are pushing it on. America now is giving us money to support that. Kwani unafikiri ni wajinga? And by the way, do you know it is only Kenya, the first country which America is resuming funding for health services is Kenya. And you know, we had a meeting where we were with Chris here, and we met with the delegation from the US government together with the Duali. And we told them that, look, you have been supporting our health system, but the way you have been doing it is not transparent to us because it's not passing through our budgetary process. We want it to pass through the budget of Kenya. And people thought that was impossible. So you heard the American government announcing that this time it will go through our budget. Yeah. There are people who are saying Rutto's diplomatic policy is upside down. Kisungu mingi. Watu sijui wamesoma diplomasia sijui nini. Ati China, if you move to China, America will run away. We are very clear. We are telling them we can have China as our friends, America as our friend. See, it is now succeeding. China, they are our friends. We unlocked even their loan with SGR loan. We unlocked. We agreed something that people thought would not be possible. It was possible. We are now saving 215 million per year by entering in an agreement with them. After succeeding there, America ndi huyu. America pia is giving us what we want. Kwani ni nini tena tunataka? Sisi hatutaki kupigana now. We are not superpower. Isn't it? Everything is working in this government unless you want to close your eyes, your ears. You see no good. Shauri yako. Sisi tutaendelea na wale wataona tunafanya kazi. Si ndio? So, let me say the last thing. Si mimi mnajua nimekuwa chairman wa ODM kwa muda mrefu sana. Chairman of ODM. And as one said here, the one who never betrayed Raila, in life and in death. Hatuwezi kusahau 2007. Kama kuna watu wengine watasahau, sisi hatujasahau. The only reason why we could not vote for Rutto is because we were voting for Raila. I'm telling you that is the truth. Ukienda hapa kwa lake, the reason why they were not voting for Rutto is because they voted for Raila. Now that it is impossible for us to vote for Raila. Ama, is it still possible to vote for Raila? It is now impossible to vote for Raila. We will vote for Rutto 100%. Because, let me tell you, the only president who has visited villages in Luoland, which even some Baba did not even visit. Baba never went to a place called Oria. You can put that down and Google. I don't know whether you'll even find it. Rutto went. Rutto went to Muhuru and is going back to Muhuru on 17th. Muhuru Bay. And we are seeing the level of development that we have never seen. The roads are being constructed. They have been advertised. You know, I released 50%, Mheshimiwa Rutto. For the first time, 50% of the budget capital expenditure to me release. Chris here knows. We are paying counties money in time. Are you seeing any more press conferences by governors? Ati tumekata kuwalipa pesa. Oh, CDF tunalipa kama check off every month, check off. CDF inaenda every month. Tunatoa pesa. Tunatoa pesa every month 5.3 billion. Hiyo maneno ya kuniita bunge imekwisha kabisa. Hakuna maneno tena ya kwenda bunge kuanza maneno ya CDF. Sasa nyinyi, sasa mnataka tufanye nini ndio mseme kazi inaendelea vizuri? So I am telling you as I stand here that ODM will stand with William Rutto. Kama kuna kiongozi yeyote ambaye hataki hiyo, ataenda kivyake na peke yake. Kuna wengine wanaongea papa, lakini sasa uchaguzi si ulionyesha. Hii ya juzi. Kasipul, si ODM ilichukua. Ugunja, si ODM ilichukua. Na ODM, which one, Kasipul and Ugunja, is broad-based in their thinking. Including the one in Magarini. So Coast is ODM. Nyanza is ODM. What else do you want? Western is ODM, UDA. Nyinyi Rift Valley, UDA. Broad-based. Na wengine wanaongea, hakuna, you know, Rutto is so unpopular. I saw one. Very unpopular. Even if ODM supports him, he will still fail. Now, unaongea hivyo, and 7 by election, Rutto, ODM, wins all the 7 seats. Now, wewe, your county of birth, and the county where you work, only 2 MCAs. Two like this. MCA, hata ninaweza anda kao hapo usiku, ninakutana na watu kabla mpaka MCA ashinde. Umeshindwa MCA where you were born and where you are. You know who I'm talking about. So then who do you tell us? Which barometer are you using? Wewe unatumia kitu gani kupima the politics of the country? If you cannot win MCA seat, mimi hata kama I'm too weak, lazima nianguke na MCA. MCA ninaweza anguka naye. Sasa wewe Nairobi umeshindwa MCA. ODM imeshindwa huko. Mahali anatoka MCA, ODM tujapata. Na unasema ukiona yeye na microphone, unaweza fikiri yeye ndiye ana own the whole country na ODM yote inamfuata. Let me tell you, anyone who will not support this broad-based government in ODM, ataanguka. Ataanguka, I can tell you. We are there to ensure that all of us in ODM, we support Rutto for second term. Because we have also a strategy. Hata sisi huko mbele, Senator Mandago, tunataka kuongoza nchi. Kwani unafikiri hiyo uongozi imewachiliwa watu tu wachache? Sisi zote tuko na capacity bwana. Si ndio? Si ndio? Huko mbele hata sisi tutajibwaga kwa uwanja. You know, I was telling some people, ukishakuwa waziri wa fedha, there are very few positions left for you. Ukishakuwa waziri wa fedha, huwezi rudi nyumbani ukue senator. With all due respect to Senator Mandago. Sasa kurudi nyumbani, watu wanakuja kwa ofisi yangu kuomba pesa. Sasa niende huko tena nikuwe senator, nirudi Nairobi kuomba CS Finance pesa? Hapana. Hata governors siwezi naona vile magovernors wanakuja kuhangaika kwa ofisi yangu. Siwezi rudi tena kuwa governor, sijui mbunge, Rutto, siwezi rudi hiyo bunge yenu bwana. Sasa lazima niendelee mbele. Na hiyo wakati ikifika nitakuja. Si ndio? Hata mimi nitakuja na mkumbuke. Msisahau haraka. Kama Mungu atawajalia, msisahau. Kwa hivyo nataka ni waachilie hapo. Kuna viongozi wengine pia wamekuja hapa. Masaa zimezonga. In fact tuko na mkutano mwingine na mheshimiwa hapa.
Mimi sitaki kusema kitu kwa sababu ile maelezo umeeleza hapa, it could not have been said by anybody else better than the way you have put it. Ya mwisho, EGB we must implement, and I want to tell the people of Eldoret, whoever is a fast mover to adapt into that system, you will have the advantage of doing business with government. The resistance in EGB is for the few who have made sure that there are only chosen few who do business with government. EGB is out to spread the opportunities available for business in government to many Kenyans. Waziri, nikimalizia, this issue of pending bills, particular counties, and I say this with confidence because I was the governor in this county, and Kenehi, the chair of the Chamber of Commerce, knows there was no single business person loitering around the office looking for payment. There were no pending bills we left in this county. If there are bills, audit all pending bills. Let's make sure we are paying for what government and the people of the counties consumed. Otherwise, tunakushukuru, wewe ndio dawa. Naona ile mkora anaitwa Dindi Nyoro who was sitting there trying to lecture you. He should go back to class.
Asante sana. Asante sana. I agree with you in everything you said, including going back to class. Sasa Mheshimiwa Walter.
Bwana sifiwe. Asanteni sana. Mimi naitwa Walter Owino, ni mjumbe wa eneo bunge la Awendo katika kaunti ya Migori. Waziri ameongea, sitasema mengi. Nataka tu kuhakikishia ya kwamba sisi watu wa Lake tutatembea na nyinyi leo, kesho na hata hiyo kesho ingine. Ni wakati wetu sasa wa kurudisha mkono. Unajua ile kiti kubwa tuliwahi shika hapa Kenya ni ya Prime Minister. Si namna hiyo? Na hiyo kiti tulishika kwa sababu tulikuwa tumeshirikiana na William Samoei Arap Rutto. So saa hizi mnaona matunda ya broad based. Na William Samoei Arap Rutto wakati alikuwa president hatukumpigia kura. Hakuwa kura ya wengi. Si kweli? Lakini hata kama hatukumpigia kura, amechukua keki kubwa. Akapatia waziri Mbadi hapa. Akapatia Wandai. Kijana wetu Raymond Omolo ndiye amesimamia security. Si huyo mtu anatupenda. Kwa hivyo ni wakati wetu wa kurudisha mkono, na sisi 2032 tutaomba kwa unyenyekevu. Tutarudi na huyu waziri hapa tukuje tuwasalimie, na wakati ikifika na nyinyi mtatusalimia, mtarusha mkono pia. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
You know, again I agree with everything he has said. You know, Luos are fairly intelligent people. But you know that for 62 years, we never produced Minister for Finance until Rutto became president. With all that intelligence that Luos are associated with, up to last year, we had not produced, and you know Luos are known to be the first lawyers in this country. But we got the first Attorney General last year. Luos got the first CDF. CDF mnajua ni nini? Chief of Defense. Although God alimchukua mapema sana. But the first one under Rutto. We are even saying, imagine since independent, ati hakuna mjaluo amekuwa speaker. Wengine tutapata the first Luo speaker when Rutto get his second term. Chris, kuja usalimia hao watu, utawaambia kama nina kustress kwa ministry ama tunafanya kazi vizuri. Asante.
Asante sana waziri. Amjambo nyote. Chamge. You know, in public service, once your boss has spoken, you don't come and repeat. So I just want to confirm that everything the minister has said is correct. And I'm a very lucky person because we have been doing a lot, but because we are not politicians, we don't speak to the public all the time. But in Mbadi, he is able to communicate. And he has done it very well since he joined us at the ministry. Can we appreciate him? And I want to confirm that he is a very good person to work with. Actually, I'm really enjoying my time working with CS Mbadi. There is no stress. Of course, where necessary, he has to push. And that is a normal thing for all of us. Otherwise, we are in a good space. And I just want to also say we had a very difficult moment when we started. But I want to say we have stabilized the economy and the future is looking great. Thank you very much.
And I also agree with everything you have said, including by saying that I could also not ask for a better PS than Chris. So the last speaker, unless, I think the last, CEO, Insurance Regulatory Authority. Karibu.
I was saying that Waziri has given us a lot of support. We have had a lot of initiatives to build the sector, and our sector is the fastest growing in Sub-Saharan Africa. And I have for about 10 years sat in the executive board of the insurance regulations in the world. So kwa haya machache Waziri, nashukuru sana, and we are very happy that you are giving us full support.
Tutam. Nataka waziri aone kwamba mko tayari kwenda mbele. Akirudi kwa rais amwambie Kesses na Gishu tunaenda wapi? Mbele. Si namna hiyo? Na waziri amesema atarudi. Wangapi wako tayari kukaribisha waziri kwa vishindo? Waziri, unaona venye unapendwa? Wangapi? Nataka waziri aone. Asante sana.